That's it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Come on, boys. Pick it up. Yeah. Like it. Okay, Chauncey, take it. Yeah. Oh. Yes, yes, Yeah, so they conjured up a plan to meet late at night. It turned out a soul kept the whole thing tight. Now her mother's wedding dress fit like a glove. You don't need much when you're really in love, except for a few things, or so I'm told, like the family jewels and a satchel of gold. Then next to the graveyard by the old oak tree, on a dark foggy night at 2:45, she was ready to go, but where was he?
And then?
She waited.
And then?
There in the shadows. Was it the man?
And then?
A little heartbeat so loud.
And then?
And then, baby, everything went black. Now when she opened her eyes, she was dead as dust. Jewels were missing and her heart was bust. So she made a vow lying under that tree that she'd wait for her true love to come set her free. Always waiting for someone to ask for her hand. Then out of the blue comes this groovy young man who vows forever to be by her side. And that's the story of our Ghost Road.
It's been a while. It has been a long while since NR has been on this channel, but NR's journey on its return is almost complete, but it's starting off here with the second annual Pumpkin 250. Hello, race fans. Welcome here to the Talladega Super Speedway. Recently, last week, we had the NNSCRA Talladega special event that took place here. 94 laps, 250 miles over in that race, and congrats to the winner, by the way, of last week's race. But now we turn our focus to this week's race, set on Halloween night, October 31st. And ironic enough, and coincidentally, the number 31 of Kenny Stremme sits on the pole position for tonight's race. Couple of changes to this race, not unlike last year's. First off, caution flags. Those are enabled this year, because just unlike last year, caution flags weren't a thing by default. So if you wrecked last year, in last year's race, if basically what I'm trying to say is, if there were no cautions in this race and you wrecked, your luck would pretty much would have already just run out. But on the upside, cautions are now enabled this year. So if anybody wrecks and their truck is still capable of finishing the race, they'll be able to catch back up, and they'll have another shot at least trying to grab a few positions and possibly get up to the race lead if their truck is good enough and maybe win the race. Who knows? Also, our defending race winner Elijah Gordon is in this race. He's in the number 33 for this year's event, and a lot of people have said that the ratings on these trucks aren't equal. By the way, I am breaking the fourth wall, but he's jumped into this truck, jumped into the 33 truck this year to prove that he's not lying when all these ratings are equal. And we're just about to set for these trucks to get underway here. 42 trucks sitting on pit road at the ready. The pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up. 42 trucks lined up on pit road. But in order to get these 42 trucks rolling off, we gotta get the command to fire the engines.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome our Grand Marshal, CEO of 1000bulbs.com, Kim Pedersen.
Drivers, start your engines and get lit.
Fire and hold. Fired up.
The engines have fired. Pace truck is rolling off along with our 42 competitors. Starting lineup, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, is rolling. We're going to dial up driver the number 92 machine. That is Zachary Taylor in his first Pumpkin 250. This is Elijah Leonard here in the ISRN booth. Do you have a copy, sir?
I got you.
So, you're pretty lucky to be in this year's event because unlike last year's, as we had stated at the top of the show, there were no cautions in last year's race. So if you would have wrecked, you would have been a goner. But this year, you're pretty lucky. But it's your first Pumpkin 250. Were you nervous coming into this race?
Yeah, a little bit, especially since we're at Talladega. So you just never really know what's going to happen in this race. But hopefully we can keep our truck in one piece, and hopefully we can run up towards the front and maybe even lead a few laps. And who knows, maybe we'll even wind up in victory lane when it's all over. But we're going to do our best to keep our Chevy up front. But yeah, I think a lot of these drivers are probably going to be a little nervous.
All right, best of luck to you, Zachary.
All right, thank you.
By the way, I do want to make a correction there on Zachary Taylor. What he's driving is a Ford. And speaking of Ford, he's actually got some pretty good company in front of him and behind him. He's got JT Bryant in the trainer in front of him and Cody Smart alongside him. So he could possibly maybe try to see if he can work with one of those two Fords that are one in front of him and beside him. But the next Ford behind him, the top 5 is all Chevys, but the first Ford is JT Bryant. But it's going to be interesting. This race, by far, will be fun. It will be exciting. It will be interesting. As always, the drivers working their way through the Trialval. For the first time in who knows how long, NR Racing is back on the ISRN channel, and these drivers are ready to get it on. Green flag is out, and we're underway in the second annual Pumpkin 250. Pretty crazy. Already right off the bat, who's going to lead lap number 1? It looks like the 57 of Daniel Voiles just barely edged out the 32 machine at the line. But Kenny Stremme now is going to start slipping back. There's the 32 of Sam Oskin going to the point, followed by the 51 of Marcus Sachi. Down the back straightaway they go. Hannah Higdon there. You see her in the number 63 being followed by Thomas Troxel, who goes up to the middle side as Higdon goes to the bottom, takes over the top spot. Hannah Higdon in the number 63. This is her first Pumpkin 250. Taking over the top spot. Travis Crampton to the inside. He competed in last year's event. He will lead lap number 2. And right off the bat, it's 3 by 3 by 3, just like last year. There's the 7 machine. Annie Lynch going to second spot. Johnny Garner up to third. Jesse Turner in the 17 on the bottom side as well. Just look at these trucks kind of fan out there. It looks like that they're kind of... It had the looks of 4 wide there behind that behind the 2 double file here up at the front of the field, but that 3 wide is now starting to work its way towards the middle of the pack. It might fade here to the back, but nevertheless, Lynch out front, loving what she sees in her rear view mirror, but she might not love what she sees to her inside coming out of turn 2, because you got the 74 Zachary DeLello in tow, followed by the 00 of Jay Jefferson, and they're both going to work together here to try to get by Annie Lynch. RJ Bishop in the 98 is going to make it 3 wide for second, followed by Tori Andrews there in the 9, along with the number 1 machine of Aiden Shepard. Truck number 24, Fisher Gee there on the bottom. It's always amazing here of how these trucks can just simply fan out 3 wide, potentially 4 wide, given it could happen at any point. Tori Andrews right now checks out to at least a half a truck length lead, but Shepard says, "No way, you're not pulling away from me." Closes right up to the back bumper, but the number 24 of G, tried to take second away, but here comes Kaz McKella in the 2 to the inside, followed by the 21 of Eli Bright. Thomas Troxel back up here, and you're going to see, and this is going to be a common theme throughout the whole entire night. You're going to see these drivers, some drivers in the back come to the front, some drivers that were in the front go to the back, and then it's just going to continue to flip-flop throughout the entire event. Troxel to the inside to take over the top spot. There's the number 6 machine of Quentin Moore down on that inside, and I believe that's the 20 machine who just went up to the middle. That's Dylan Abraham. It is Trey Wright, red, white, and blue machine to the inside. 3rd truck in line, followed by the 30 of Max Anderson, and then the 75 of Alexander Rowe. And then you see the Zaxby's machine of Derek Hamill. He was up in the booth for last year's event. Now down on the racetrack for this year's. Moore leads lap number 6. Pretty amazed of how these drivers are able to hold up, are able to hold on here, continuing to go 3 wide, and almost like they know that last year's event didn't go so well for them. For some of these drivers that took part in last year's race, that are taking part in this year's race, they're definitely doing a good job of trying to keep their trucks in one piece, but also at the same time just trying to be sure that they don't end up making a mistake here. Rowe, Wright, Hamill, and now you got the 77 of Yepez there on the inside. They're going to get by the 20 of Dylan Abrahaman. Rowe to the inside of Wright for the top spot. Now you got the 10 of Audrey Baranowski's in tow. Carter Friesen in the 35. Orange, white, and gray machine. Working his way up to the front. Oh, crash! Big one. Oh man, oh my goodness. The 6 of Quentin Moore tumbling side over side, end over end. You also have the 08 of Daniel McMillan involved, the 32 of Sam Oskin, the 51 of Marcus Sachi. My goodness gracious. The driver that led him back to the line was the 07 of Trey Wright. But that was pretty darn big right there. And the first caution of the night is out, and these drivers are going to have to be pretty darn careful here to make sure that they don't get caught up in an incident. See Kelsey Higdon there in the 93, also her first Pumpkin 250, just phased through the pace truck. And the pace truck is going to pay her back. But first caution of the night is out here. Let's see who all was involved. I see the 1 here of Aiden Shepard sitting on pit road. The 30 machine of Max Anderson completely demolished is that rude machine. And then you got the 08, Daniel McMillan, Travis Crampton, Alexander Rowe, who had the lead getting down into 3, but unfortunately lost it because of getting turned around and then right back up into the field, and that's where the chaos pretty much just ensued there. Marcus Sachi, there's the 32 of Sam Oskin, the 24, Fisher G. Excuse me, that's Dylan Aberhyman. Fisher G and Dylan Aberhyman's trucks are pretty much the exact same. So it's going to be hard for me to tell the difference between the two of them. And it looks like all the trucks are coming down pit road to get some pit service. The one machine of Aiden Shepard taking off and getting out of pit road. Let's see who's going to win the race off of the pits. Contact there in the back. There's Dylan Young and Carter Friesen made some light contact, but nothing major there. Oh, Derek Hamill gets hit by Jay Jefferson. And it looks like the number 50 machine of Adam Garcia is going to win the race off of pit road. Second is Trey Wright, Andre Baranowskis, then Derek Hamill with some right side damage. Carter Friesen fifth. William Braun, Dylan Young, Kaz McKella, and I believe Zachary Taylor would round out the top 10. And then you got Kelsey Higdon, R.J. Bishop, John Hunter Fleck. Yes, that's right. You heard me right. John Hunter Fleck. Then you got Fisher G, Al Lagasse, Hannah Higdon, Johnny Gardner, the two Red Horse Racing trucks, and many more. First caution, though, of the night is out. Adam Garcia won the race off of pit road. So let's go back and see what happened that triggered our first caution of the night here in the Pumpkin 250. This all happened so quickly within a short amount of time there, and you see the 75. I believe he came down on Derek Hamill, and Hamill just didn't really have a whole lot to do there, and just had no choice but to turn him around, and came back, and Rowe came back up on the racetrack and collected the 20 of Dylan Aberhyman. There's Quentin Moore there in the 6. Kenny Stremme there in the 30. Comes down on Tori Andrews. Then Nathan Orman gets into this. Daniel McMillan, Sam Anoskin. Look at the 6 of Quentin Moore tumbling on the banking. Few drivers taking evasive action there down on the grass and a little bit on the top side. There's the 2 of 02 of Crampton. And I'm surprised here that the 6 of Quentin Moore was able to drive away with the damage that he sustained from that barrel roll on the banking. Shades of Austin Cindric back at Daytona in July. Definitely has the shades of that. Rhodes tries to drive away. Then you got Crampton trying to get around Max Anderson here. Anderson stuck on between a rock and a hard place on the apron. But his truck was unable to refire. Same for the number 08 of Daniel McMillan. But a big crash here. A big wreck here to start off things here in the Pumpkin 250. And we are pretty darn close. And we are kind of closing in on halfway here. But these... Actually, I don't think we're close to halfway. But may have to get confirmation once we take a look at a few more replays. So I stand corrected. This happened on lap number 8. So we weren't even close to halfway here. I don't even know if Derek Hamill tried to side draft Alexander Rowe in that shot, but it kind of looked like that the turn was intentional. But just look at this. Everybody just scattering around, just trying to avoid these trucks, and some of them did actually did do a pretty good job at it. But unfortunately, some other trucks got caught up in this, and we're actually going to take a few on board, starting with the number 05 of Derek Hamill. One of the 2 that actually started the whole melee. It's from Derek Hamill. Trying to make a pass here for the lead. Gets on that left rear quarter panel and just gets a little bit too close though. And look what happens behind him. Just a little bit of a small pile up there, but he was able to get away though, but unfortunately was not able to catch Trey Wright to the race to the yellow flag. And he will have to, and he will restart. He'll restart fourth with damage to the right side of his truck. Let's take one more on board here. This time with the 6 of Quentin Moore. From Quentin Moore's perspective, all I have to say is hang on tight. Man, that's a wild ride he took there, but pretty good to see Quentin Moore drive away from this, but unfortunately he has taken his truck back behind the wall. So first caution of the night starts off in a melee. Fortunately, ending a few nights for some drivers. Some are able to continue here, but Quentin Moore, unfortunately, is one of those that is done for the night.
Hey,
Kevin Harvick.
changing your oil after 3,000 miles?
Yes.
If you'd used new Mobile One annual protection, you wouldn't have to. You protect your engine for 1 year with just one oil change.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Why are you 3 inches tall?
What? You don't like short people?
Dikembe.
Don't change your oil.
New Mobile One annual protection.
You're acting so funny. What's wrong, Billy?
My doctor says I have Skittles pox.
Are they contagious?
I don't think so.
Contract the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Welcome back here to the Talladega Super Speedway. We are currently wrapping up our first caution flag of the night here in the Pumpkin 250. Your leader right now is Adam Garcia. He won the race off of pit road, and then second is the 07 of Trey Wright. Third is Andre Baranowskis. Fourth, Derek Hamill. Fifth is Carter Friesen. Sixth, William Brock. Seventh, Dylan Young. Eighth, Kaz McKella. Ninth, Zachary Taylor, and Kelsey Higdon rounds out the top 10. And speaking of the number 92, Zachary Taylor, we tapped into some radio communications with the 92 team.
All right, good pit stop, boys. We just got to keep our truck up here. We kind of got put in a 3 wide sandwich a little bit ago, so we just got to keep our truck clean. I hope everybody's okay on that wreck, though. That looked pretty scary, so we just got to keep our truck in one piece and we'll have a good shot at this.
Zachary Taylor, as we said on the top of the show, his first Pumpkin 250. And you saw there one of the trucks that's lining up on the inside line. That is Daniel McMillan. He's one of those trucks that is a lap down. The drivers that have taken their trucks back behind the wall is the number 75. Number 75 of Alexander Rowe, and also joining him in the garage area is Quentin Moore, Max Anderson, Tori Andrews, and Nathan Orman. Unfortunately, those 5 drivers have smelled what the rock was cooking. Somebody clocked in. I think somebody clocked in. And I think I think the crews have actually just plugged in the radio. Actually, no. Quentin Moore actually clocked into the booth here, but Quentin Moore's here. Speedy trip through the infield care center, but Quentin Moore, unfortunately, got taken out there in a big wreck. It must have been pretty bittersweet for you.
Yeah, it was a pretty hard wreck, but I'm okay.
It's good to know that you're okay here. As we're getting down here to the restart. Gonna restart on lap number 13. Adam Garcia, the leader. Then it's Wright, Baranowskis, Hamill, Friesen, Brock, Young, McKella, Taylor, and Higdon. As they come back to the restart. And we are back underway here in the Pumpkin 250. Again, we pointed this out earlier in the broadcast. Cautions are enabled, as you all saw. So this restart is going to involve some of these drivers bunching right back up. And they're going to have to try to worry about getting around this 08 machine of Daniel McMillan. Baranowskis goes to second. Hamill to third. Here comes Dylan Young on that 14 to the inside. Taylor going to try to make it 3 wide. Underneath of Dylan Young and Daniel McMillan. Meanwhile, Baranowskis goes to the point. And it's 3 by 3 by 3. Here in the middle of this lead pack, everybody else kind of strung out back there. And there you see them, way in the back, minding their own P's and Q's and just hoping that something happens just up ahead, so that way they can get into this mix. Zachary Taylor in the 92 to the inside of Andre Baranowskis, gonna try to take over the top position. Hannah Higdon there. The 63 has the 17 of Jesse Turner right behind her. And here comes Daniel Voiles there in that 57. Fourth truck, now third truck on the inside as Higdon goes to the point underneath of Taylor. Down the back straightaway. And these drivers definitely fighting hard for real estate, and all those other trucks, well, those are the trucks that got involved in that lap 8 incident. Zachary DeLello now is being put in the middle, 4 wide, almost 4 wide is what it looked like there. With Carter Friesen kind of drifting up high, but now he slices down to the bottom to try to get underneath of Diego Yepes for position. Voiles up to third. Turner, is he going to try to make a move to the inside? He will not be able to, getting down into 1. And Quentin Moore, so far what you're observing here is this racing right now, thanks to that restart, the racing is pretty much intense again.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta hope that they don't go 4 wide. I mean, if they go 4 wide, that's big trouble.
And plus another thing is, oh, well, they had 4 wide because Derek Hamill is making his way down to pit road. So something amiss on the 05 machine of Derek Hamill, forcing him to come down to pit road. Taylor back on the charge at the inside of Al Agassi. He's got William Brock, Cody Smart right behind him. We got Andre Baranowskis and now Jeff Bright in the number 23 machine, now starting to make some noise. Black and blue car, or truck, excuse me. I can't even tell the difference between a truck and a car. Mr. Brewer to the inside of Zachary Taylor. Out of turn 4, put the 3 machine out front.
We need to make sure that 05 truck doesn't let Page the field.
Well, that 05 truck is well down there on the apron, trying to get back up to speed. But probably by the time he reaches the back straightaway, these guys might already be up to him. Hamill already halfway down the back straightaway, but these guys are going to catch up to him probably within the next few laps. And here comes Stremme, our pole sitter, going to try to get back towards the race lead. 3 wide. And every time I just look at certain angles here, every time we look at this pack from certain angles, it just looks like that they're about to go 4 wide, and they are. As soon as I said something there, Fisher G getting underneath the Thomas Troxel, RJ Bishop, and Mr. Brewer. That's not gonna work, and somehow they made it work. But we're gonna have to keep our eyes here on this 4 wide situation. William Brock there being hung out to dry there on that 4th line. But everybody else thinking, hey, it's okay, 4 wide is working, why don't we try it? And it looks like they're going to smarten up here, no offense, and settle it back down to 3 wide. And they have caught the 0-5 of Derek Hamill, as you can see. And then now we got John Hunter Fleck in the 54 up here. He's going to take over the top spot. Or is he? Or did he? He did, by 3/100ths of a second. He beat Fisher G to the line to lead lap number 19, and this is the halfway lap. 19 down, 19 to go. And now JT Bryant is now starting to make some noise. How about the 7 of Annie Lynch making an attempt to go for the race lead, trying to make it 3 wide, thinks twice of it, jumps back in line. Through turns 3 and 4, heading down to the tri-oval. JT Bryant out front here in the Pumpkin 250. This is his first Pumpkin 250. And now we got Annie Lynch, another first-timer to the inside, followed by Daniel McMillan. And now Jay Jefferson is here, also the 93 of Kelsey Higdon, and the 14 of Dylan Young. 3 trucks single file now. Not anymore. As Jefferson makes the move to the inside of Daniel McMillan. Lynch, loving what she sees in her rearview mirror, just like of how she did earlier in the event. But now she's not going to like what she sees to her inside. Is 2 trucks working together to get by Annie Lynch. And Jefferson goes to the point. Here comes Kelsey Higdon in the 93 to the inside. Double file throughout 2/3 of the field. Then the last third pretty much is just 3 wide, faded to the back of the field. And now Dylan Young, you see at the bottom of your screen, going to the race lead. Followed by Trey Wright. Then you got Carter Friesen up here. It's always amazing to see these drivers just do what they can to try to get up to the race lead. Either that or just try to make some pretty darn cool moves out on the racetrack. But nevertheless, there's a race win at stake. There's a Pumpkin 250 at stake for some of these drivers. Zachary Fitzwater there. You see him in the number 39. Blasting through the middle, trying to get by Kelsey Higdon there. Pulls right up to the back bumper of Carter Friesen. He's not able to get down to the inside. He's pretty much been closed up. It's been that way for about the whole length of the back straightaway. Pretty much all the length all the way around the racetrack. And when you get caught up on that extreme high side, you're pretty much just along for the ride, and you're just going to go nowhere but backwards. The bottom, as you know, as we've known for the last 23 laps now, has been the way to go. Kaz McKella in the 2 back up here. American Ethanol Machine going to make a move to the inside of Zachary DeLello, followed by Zachary Taylor, who's going to make it 3 wide for the top spot. If we can catch up to him. He wasn't able to make the pass, but he sure tried. Is he going to make it coming out of turn number 4, heading down to the tri-oval? He will, with the help of Cody Smart. Hannah Higdon in the 63 is following. And now we have 14 laps to go here in the Pumpkin 250. Give the lead to Zachary Taylor. Now give it to Cody Smart as he works his way underneath. Out of turn 2. Is Hannah Higdon going to make a move? Or is Jeff Bryant going to get to the left rear corner panel of the 63 machine? He will. Or will he? He will not be able to. Looks like we saw a little bit of 4 wide there in the back of the field. And there it is, 4 wide in the back. And he'll quickly get settled down to 3 wide, but they know it's crunch time. They know it's time to go. It's go big or go home.
You know, I think that 63 truck actually might win this weekend because she's been pretty good this weekend.
Well, she's been doing really darn good as that number is 63, Anna Higdon, but she's got her sister, her little sister, coming up through the field. Black and red, number 93, that is Kelsey Higdon, moving her way up. Diego Yepez makes it 3 wide for third as Jesse Turner guns for the lead on William Brock. Coming down to it, 12 laps to go. And these drivers are already in turn number 3, but they might not be a factor at all in the remainder of this race. Yepez leads that lap. Is Kelsey Higdon going to try to make it 3 wide? No. Watches straight on the rear bumper of the 77. Let's try to see if we can tap into the communications of the 92 team.
Well, this is getting pretty crazy. It's go time right now. Man, we've been up there. We just got to stay up there, though. If we can get back up there, we just got to find a way to stay up there, though.
You're going to have to try to find that. You're going to have to try to formulate a plan to stay up there, and you're going to have to formulate it within a fraction of a second. Kelsey Higdon out front. JT Bryan is going to get passed here by Kenny Stremme, and there's Johnny Gardner in the 99. With 11 laps to go, Stremme tries to get down to the inside. He will. He'll get underneath of the number 30, or the 93, excuse me, of Kelsey Higdon. And he will go to the point. Audra Baranowski is getting underneath of the 20 of Dylan Abrahyman. Excuse me, that's Fisher G. Again, I made that same mistake. But Fisher G now stuck on that middle line. Gardner with the lead. Baranowski at the bottom. Lynch going to tuck in. No! The hole got closed up by Adam Garcia there. As Baranowski just barely got nicked by Gardner at the line. 1/100th of a second to lead that lap with just 10 laps to go. Garcia goes to the point. Down the back straightaway they go. It almost looks like they're in war formation there. Almost 5 wide. Just from the looks of that shot right there. But through 3 and 4, it's still 3 wide. And the number 07 of Trey Wright has taken over the top spot. Through the trioval they go. And are they going to end up going 4 wide here? If they go 4 wide, it may not work again. Because these drivers are going to be fighting hard for all the real estate that they can get. Stremme almost made a 4 wide on William Brock, almost forcing him up a little bit closer to the truck that's way up top. Almost just doing it. Now we got the number 32. No, truck number 32, Samanowski into the inside. RJ Bishop is there, same for Kaz McKella. And also the number 15 of Thomas Troxel is back up here. And this is getting tense here with 8 laps to go. Once they cross the stripe this time by, it's RJ Bishop, your leader. But for how long as they hit turn 1? Not for much longer, though. Should have said that, but Kaz McKellen to the point. Can he win his first ever Pumpkin 250 and his first ever appearance in this big race? It's very possible that he could do just that, but he's got to hold off everybody else behind him for the last 7 laps here. For the last 7 laps, he's going to have to hold everybody off, and that's going to be a very hard task to accomplish, though. He has a little bit of a trunk length lead on the 54 of John Hunter Fleck, but Fleck has a good enough draft to get down to the inside of McKella, pull up alongside, and go to the point. He's going to bring the number 14 of Dylan Young, the 17 of Jesse Turner, the 23 of Jeff Bright, and also the 63 of Hannah Higdon, who's going to make it 3 wide there on the number 23 and the number 2 as they hit turn 3. Young to the point. Turner following close suit. Hannah Higdon with a gutsy move, and that number 63 goes to the inside to try to take over second. And are they going to go 4 wide there in the middle of the pack? Let's watch for this. And it looks like they're going to keep it fanned down to 3 wide, 3 abreast. Young gets hung out to dry as Turner goes to the point. Higdon dives to the inside. Help from the number 29 of JT Bryant and the number 77 of Diego Yepes. Are they going to stay with her getting into turn 3? Yes. At least JT Bryant will. Kenny Shremy gets to the inside of Diego Yepes, forcing Turner up to the high side. Shremy to the inside of the number 29 of JT Bryant. Wasn't able to get the run. Bryant shuts the door. Higdon leads with 5 laps to go. Zachary Taylor now coming up into the mix. Here comes the 29 of JT Bryant. You got Kenny Shremy there. Also, Zachary Taylor. Kelsey Higdon there in the 93. It's all getting dicey within these final 4.5 laps. Turn 3. And are they going 4 wide? If they, it just looks like they're going 4 wide, and they are going 4 wide to the back of the pack. This is getting pretty dicey here. You might want to watch for this, because we all know that at some point this could get bad. This could get bad. This could get terrible here if these drivers aren't careful. Meanwhile, back up at the front of the field, it's the number 7 of Annie Lynch up at the point, but she's going to be put on the middle line by Johnny Gardner. Daniel Voiles there in the 57 following close suit. Everybody is coming down pit road. Pit stops, and there's trouble. Cody Smart gets turned around, coming to pit. Owen Gordon gets nailed by Derek Hamill. In through the graves. And the caution flag is out with 3 laps to go. And Kelsey Higdon was scored as the leader. Oh my goodness. Kelsey Higdon in the number 93 might have just won this race, but then again, these drivers were just starting their pit stops, their first round of green flag stops. So we're gonna have to wait and see if these drivers right here that stayed out, if they're gonna be able to make it to the finish under the caution flag. But boy, if Kelsey Higdon pulls this off, this is going to be a big upset. This is going to be a huge upset. If she's going to be able to pull this off, oh no.
I think she's coming down pit road.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see, because if she comes down, she's not going to be the only one, because there's going to be a whole nother group of trucks that would come down pit road. Will she come down?
Yep.
That is the question here, and she's not. She's going to risk it. Kenny Shremy comes down. JT Bryan is coming down. Zachary Taylor, Hannah Higdon, Diego Yepes, William Brock, Jeff Bright, Travis Crampton all coming down. But there's our defending winner. Just got T-boned by Derek Hamill on that big melee coming to get inside, get into the pit box. Cody started with Cody Smart getting turned around, getting turned 90 degrees on pit road, and then everybody just stacked up, and from there, it just turned into big and utter chaos. Stremme won the race off of pit road, but he's slowing down. Probably was feeling a little bit generous and decided to give 2 spots over to Hannah Higdon and also the 29 of JT Bryant. Then again, I could probably be wrong. These drivers are going to have to be very careful here. We're going to stick with these. We're going to stick with these drivers here. See if they come. See if the other drivers that did not come down last time around, if they do come down to pit, we're just going to have to wait and see and just follow around with them, just to be sure here. And everybody's going to try to just having a little bit of issues trying to find their proper spot in line. Looks like the 31 thinks that he should be behind the 33, and it looks like that is the case. Stremme did win the race off of pit road, so he's going to stay behind the 33. Hannah Higdon and JT Bryan are going to follow. And everybody else, well, they'll know their spots in line, but we're coming down to the white flag, keeping our eyes here on the 93 of Kelsey Higdon, excuse me. Last year, it was Elijah Gordon that won the inaugural running of this race. And this year, it could be her little sister, Kelsey, going to victory lane here in the Pumpkin 250, but she's got to hold on here for one more lap and hope that the fuel holds up. White flag is out. One more lap to go here for the 93 of Kelsey Higdon. All she has to do is hold on to the lead here for one more lap. And the taste of her first win in her first appearance in the Pumpkin 250 will be hers if she holds on. This would be a huge, huge upset. Not just for Elijah Gordon, but also for Kelsey Higdon as well. This would be a bigger upset for her because this is her first ever Pumpkin 250. As we said at the top of the show, or as we said earlier, her first ever Pumpkin 250 along with Hannah Higdon. And Hannah looks like she's going to come home 24th if things kind of hold up the way that they are holding up right now. But her younger sister, Kelsey, what a story this would be for her if she were able to hold on, if the fuel was able to hold up. So that way she can go to victory lane for the first time here in the Pumpkin 250. Turns 3 and 4 for the final time. See if we can get some word here in the 92 team of Zachary Taylor.
Well, guys, man, we just came up short, but man, we were close. We had a good shot too, but congrats whoever's going to win this race. But man, we fought hard, guys. Proud of our effort. We just didn't quite get there.
And it looks like she's going to hold up. The fuel is going to hold up on the 93. And Kelsey Higdon, in her first ever appearance in the Pumpkin 250, is finally... Oh no, Kelsey! She's on the apron! But she's gonna make it to the line and she's gonna win anyway! How about that? Kelsey Higdon, she's out of gas! She ran the thing out of fuel to the line and she wins it anyway! How about that?
Wow.
She ran that thing out of gas coming to the line. Wow. Wow. How about that? That is amazing.
Will she make it back to the pits?
She's kind of coasting alongside the banking here. But it doesn't look like she's going to make it to pit road here, so I think she might stop. Everybody else might get kind of slide down the banking here, as you can see there.
Okay.
Dana McMillan almost, truck almost tipped over and everything, but Kelsey Higdon, the fuel didn't hold up coming to the line, but luckily she ran out at the perfect time. Perfect time coming to the checkers for that matter, and she was able to hold on to get her first ever win. First ever win on the Pumpkin 250 and her first appearance in this race. And she has stopped and she is backing up and going into the banking, and now she's stuck between a rock and a hard place. A few other drivers are disappearing and teleporting to pit road, but nevertheless, the 93 of Kelsey Higdon goes to victory lane. She's going to take a trip to victory lane here in the Pumpkin 250. Everybody else is going to make their way around to pit road, and it looks like the 54 is out of gas. Whoops, wrong button. Wrong button. Oh yeah. The 54 of John Hunter Fleck is out of fuel. Ran that thing out of gas, but he luckily was able to make it to the start finish line, but Kelsey Higdon wins it here in the Pumpkin 250. Let's have a look at your results. Higdon the winner. John Hunter Fleck will finish second. Sam Anoskin third. Kaz McKellar fourth. Jesse Turner, Marcus Sachi, Johnny Garner, Daniel Voles, Andy Lynch, and Fisher G all round out the top 10. Everybody else from 11th all the way down to 34th, they were all on the lead lap. Dana McMillan, Dylan Aberheimen, and Derek Hamill were the only 3 drivers that finished 1 lap down or more. And the only 5 retirees of the race, Alexander Rowe, Quentin Moore, Max Anderson, Tori Andrews, and Nathan Orman, those drivers smelled what the rock was cooking. Well, there was another incident that took place there that triggered the final caution of the night. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This was all just a melee coming to pit road here with just a few laps to go. And you're going to see here, coming down the pit road, looks like that Cody Smart tried to get down to the inside to come down pit road and just squeezed Jesse Turner on down on the Derek Hamill, and he just turned himself around there. Derek Hamill takes evasive action. He just comes into pit road way too fast, tries to get back out onto the racetrack, and just T-bones the 33 of Elijah Gordon for just absolutely no reason at all. And I believe Derek Hamill may have to have a word with the stewards. And I think he is going to get a word with the stewards here for aggressive driving. A tough break there for Elijah Gordon. He was just minding his own business coming down pit road, and he just got completely blindsided by Derek Hamill and just got turned around there. And fortunately, he's not going to go back to back here. But I don't think he cares at this point. He's just absolutely filled with joy that his younger sister Kelsey Higdon has gotten the victory here in the Pumpkin 250. And Cody Smart, his hopes of winning this race also went up in smoke when he got turned around there with just only 2-3 laps to go. But everybody else made their pit stops, but luckily was able to get back on the lead lap. And it allowed this gal right here to make the gamble, take the gamble, and it paid off. It barely paid off. Fuel ran out on the exit of the tri-oval. She dropped down to the apron, but everybody was able to maintain her pace, and she was able to win the Pumpkin 250. They're refueling the truck as of right now. to get this thing, so that way she can go ahead and do her burnouts. And we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was definitely an exciting one, and definitely one that we will remember for many, many years to come. Kelsey Higdon runs out of fuel just about halfway through the tri-oval, on the exit of the tri-oval, and she was able to maintain pace speed, somewhat maintain pace speed, to get her first win in the Pumpkin 250 and her first ever start in this event. This definitely was an exciting one. Again, we want to thank you guys a lot for tuning in to tonight's event. If you guys liked it, be sure to, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button there on the bottom right of your screen. And if you guys want to hit that subscribe button, feel free to do so. That would most certainly be appreciated. One more time, congratulations to the number 93 of Kelsey Higdon on getting the victory here in the Pumpkin 250. I'm Elijah Leonard signing off, saying that you've been watching a production of the ISRN, the International Sports Racing Network, and tonight's coverage of the second annual Pumpkin 250. Good night and happy Halloween from Talladega, Alabama.